When we think of success, we often imagine strength, confidence, and resilience. Rarely, if ever, do we associate success with vulnerability. Yet it's precisely the courage to embrace vulnerability that sets the 2% apart from the rest. Vulnerability is more than just allowing ourselves to feel. It's about willingly stepping into situations where we risk failure, judgment, and even heartbreak. As Brene Brown teaches, vulnerability is the birthplace of courage, creativity, and meaningful connections. The 2% understand this on a fundamental level. They know that to grow, they must willingly open themselves up to the discomfort and uncertainty that comes with reaching for greatness. The journey to success is not paved with certainty. There are no guarantees, no definitive paths, and no way to predict every outcome. Those in the 2% know that if they wait for absolute certainty, they'll be waiting forever. Instead, they choose to act, even when they can't control the outcome, and even when the stakes feel overwhelmingly high. They are willing to risk looking foolish, to stumble and even fall, because they recognize that these experiences are necessary to learn, grow, and refine their craft. The 98% often remain in the shadows, avoiding risk for fear of being seen, judged, or misunderstood. They view vulnerability as a weakness, as something to be avoided. But the 2% know that success lies not in avoiding vulnerability, but in embracing it as part of the journey. To the 2%, vulnerability is a powerful teacher. It's what pushes them to ask for help when they need it, to admit when they don't have all the answers, and to put their ideas out into the world, even when they might face criticism. Brene Brown tells us that vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation and creativity. Without the courage to risk failure or rejection, there would be no breakthroughs, no revolutionary ideas, and no lasting impact. The 2% know this and are willing to take the leap, even when they feel exposed. They understand that vulnerability is the price of growth, and they pay it willingly. Imagine a performer stepping onto a stage in front of thousands, knowing that every note, every word, and every movement is subject to scrutiny. That feeling of standing in the spotlight, vulnerable and exposed, is the essence of true courage. The 2% feel that same vulnerability in their daily pursuits, whether it's pitching a new idea, leading a team, or starting a business. They know that each step forward exposes them to criticism, to potential failure, and to the judgments of others. Yet they step forward anyway, driven by a belief that the reward of growth outweighs the fear of vulnerability. This courage to face vulnerability also allows the 2% to build authentic connections with others. People are drawn to authenticity, to those who are unafraid to show their true selves. By being open and honest about their struggles, their fears, and their journey, the 2% build trust and inspire those around them. Brene Brown explains that vulnerability is the foundation of true connection and trust. It's what makes leaders relatable, what makes artists impactful, and what makes dreamers inspiring. By embracing vulnerability, the 2% become more than just achievers. They become leaders and change makers, inspiring others not only to follow, but to find courage within themselves. Brene Brown highlights that vulnerability is also essential to innovation, because without the willingness to take risks, to fail publicly, and to face potential rejection, no new ideas can flourish. The 2% understand this deeply. They know that to create something original, they must be willing to step outside the familiar, where no guarantees of success exist. Whether they're inventing a new product, building a brand, or redefining an industry, they are willing to put their ideas out there, knowing full well that they may be criticized or even laughed at. This willingness to be vulnerable is the hallmark of innovators and disruptors, those who are not satisfied with following the crowd but are driven to create their own path. When the 2% encounter failure, they don't let it define them. They know that failure is a natural part of any ambitious journey, and instead of feeling defeated, they use it as a moment for reflection. They ask themselves what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and what valuable lessons they can take away from the experience. This mindset allows them to transform each setback into a stepping stone. They see failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as a temporary obstacle, something that can be overcome with the right attitude and persistence. Brene Brown has highlighted that resilience is the ability to lean into discomfort and emerge stronger on the other side, and the 2% embody this quality with every challenge they face. For the 98%, failure often feels like an ending. It's easy to let one setback stop us, to feel disheartened and decide that the effort isn't worth the risk. The 98% might look at a failure and think, maybe this dream isn't for me. But the 2% look at that same failure and think, this is where I grow. They understand that resilience is about how we choose to respond to failure. Instead of allowing it to erode their confidence, they let it fuel their determination. They see failure as a tool that sharpens them, strengthens them, and prepares them for greater challenges ahead. They understand that resilience doesn't mean we don't feel the sting of failure. It means we keep going in spite of it. Resilience is what allows the 2% to withstand the criticism and doubts that often come from others. When they set out to pursue their dreams, they may face skepticism, negativity, and even discouragement from those around them. It's easy to let outside voices shake our confidence, especially when setbacks arise. But the 2% remain unwavering, their resilience reinforcing their commitment to their goals. They're not driven by the approval or validation of others, and they don't let external criticism define their worth or capabilities. Instead, they stay focused on their vision, grounded in the belief that their journey is worth every ounce of struggle. Resilience over failure also means refusing to be defined by past mistakes. The 2% understand that everyone makes mistakes, but they don't let these mistakes keep them from moving forward. They take responsibility, but they don't dwell on what went wrong. They use each experience as a way to refine their approach, knowing that perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Every setback is a chance to grow stronger, to learn something new, and to adjust their strategies. They see each failure as a temporary chapter, one that doesn't dictate the end of their story. This ability to bounce back, to remain focused on growth, is what sets them apart from those who let fear of failure hold them back. Brene reminds us that resilience is a process, something we build each time we face adversity. The 2% don't become resilient overnight. It's a skill they hone over time, developed through countless moments of choosing to rise despite the odds. This mindset allows them to see each failure as fuel for their journey, as a necessary element of growth. They are not afraid of falling because they know they can get back up stronger. With each setback, they're reminded of their own strength, of their capacity to endure, and of their commitment to their vision. Allows them to look at themselves, their work, and their goals from fresh angles, uncovering new possibilities that would otherwise remain hidden. They embrace change not as a threat, but as an opportunity to innovate and refine their approach. They are constantly aware that what got them to one level of success may not be enough to push them to the next, and so they approach each new stage of their journey with a mindset of continual learning. Relearning is not about simply accepting new information, it's about integrating it into our existing understanding, expanding and evolving our perspective to accommodate what we've discovered. For the 2%, relearning isn't a passive process. It involves actively engaging with new ideas, testing them, and finding ways to apply them in meaningful ways. It's about taking everything we've learned up until now and adding to it, building upon it, and adapting it to suit our changing needs and circumstances. This ability to integrate new knowledge while staying true to the core of who we are is what allows the 2% to thrive, especially when faced with rapidly shifting landscapes and challenges. Unlearning and relearning also requires resilience and the courage to confront failure. When we let go of old ideas, there's always a period of uncertainty. We might doubt ourselves or feel insecure about the new path we are forging. However, the 2% are not afraid of this discomfort, they lean into it. They understand that the act of unlearning is a form of personal transformation. Just as a tree must shed its leaves to prepare for new growth, the 2% are willing to let go of old practices to make room for the new. This process of unlearning isn't a sign of weakness or failure, but a sign of strength and adaptability. It shows that they are not stagnant, but continuously evolving, ready to face new challenges with a refined understanding. The 2% also know that unlearning requires courage. It can be uncomfortable to acknowledge that what worked yesterday may not work today, but they embrace this truth with open arms. They are fearless in their pursuit of growth and are always looking for ways to improve, even if it means starting from scratch or completely rethinking their approach. Brene emphasizes that it's through vulnerability and courage that we allow ourselves to become open to change. The 2% choose to be vulnerable in the face of unlearning, knowing that the discomfort of growth is far more rewarding than the stagnation that comes with clinging to the past. They understand that in order to move forward, they must be willing to let go of the comfort of certainty and embrace the unknown. A critical part of unlearning and relearning is understanding that success is not linear. What works in one phase of life or career may not work in the next. The 2% don't view setbacks as failures, but as indicators that it's time to adjust their approach. They are constantly reassessing and adapting, never growing complacent with past achievements. This willingness to question everything from their work strategies to their personal philosophies allows them to break free from the conventional and the expected. They don't just go through the motions, they question the status quo and seek to improve it. In doing so, they remain ahead of the curve, constantly refining their approach and staying aligned with their evolving vision. Discipline is the quiet strength that outlasts the fleeting highs of motivation. It's the steady force that keeps us going even when we don't feel like it, even when our energy wanes, and the passion we once felt seems distant. Unlike motivation, discipline is not affected by our moods or circumstances. It is a constant rooted in our commitment to our goals, our vision, and our values. For the 2% who succeed, discipline is the foundation of their success. They understand that while motivation may get them started, discipline is what carries them through to the end. What makes discipline so powerful is that it's a skill that can be developed. It's not something that people are born with. It's a practice, a commitment, and a mindset that grows stronger over time. The 2% have cultivated this skill through consistent action, even when they didn't feel like it. They have learned that true success is not about waiting for motivation to strike, but about taking intentional action day after day, no matter how they feel. Discipline for them is the real driving force behind success. It is what sustains them when motivation wanes. It's what gives them the resilience to face setbacks, and it's what keeps them on track toward achieving their dreams. A deep belief in their own worth and potential. Brene Brown has spoken extensively about vulnerability and how important it is to accept and embrace our imperfections. This acceptance is directly tied to a belief in one's worth. The 2% who succeed understand that their value is not based on being perfect, but on their ability to keep going, to learn from their mistakes, and to continue growing. They know that no amount of failure, no rejection, or no obstacle can take away their inherent worth. This belief in their potential allows them to rise above the negative voices of self-doubt and judgment, and it propels them to take the actions necessary to fulfill their potential. When you believe deeply in your own worth and potential, the challenges and setbacks that life throws at you don't feel like insurmountable barriers. Instead, they are opportunities for growth. The 2% understand that obstacles are part of the journey, but they do not let those obstacles define their success. They see challenges as stepping stones to personal growth and development. When they fail, they do not see themselves as failures. They see the failure as a lesson, as a chance to learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. Their belief in their worth allows them to bounce back from setbacks with greater determination and a deeper sense of purpose. Believing in your own worth also means that you trust in your potential. The 2% know that their future is not limited by their past. They understand that they are constantly evolving, learning, and growing. They are not confined by previous mistakes or experiences. Their belief in their potential allows them to envision the future they want and take the necessary steps to make it a reality. They don't allow fear, uncertainty, or past failures to hold them back from pursuing their dreams. They know that they have the capacity to create the life they desire, and they are willing to take the necessary risks to get there. A deep belief in one's worth also means having the courage to pursue your dreams even when it feels scary. The 2% know that fear is a natural part of the process, but they do not let it stop them. They understand that fear is often a sign that they are stepping outside their comfort zone, which is exactly where growth happens. They believe that their dreams are worth the discomfort and the challenges that come with chasing them. This belief in their worth makes them willing to face fear head-on, take risks, and push through the doubts and insecurities that might hold others back. They know that every fear they face and every challenge they overcome only strengthens their belief in their own abilities. It's also about having the confidence to set big goals and take bold actions toward achieving them. The 2% are not afraid to dream big because they believe they have the ability to make those dreams a reality. They are not limited by small thinking or the fear of failure. They set high standards for themselves because they know they are capable of reaching those standards. Their belief in their own potential allows them to stretch beyond what they thought was possible and take steps towards something greater than they ever imagined. This belief is what gives them the courage to go after their dreams with full force, even when the path ahead is unclear. Those who deeply believe in their worth also understand the importance of self-care and self-compassion. They know that they cannot pour from an empty cup, and they take the time to nurture themselves physically, emotionally, and mentally. This self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity in sustaining their belief in themselves. They give themselves the space to rest, recharge, and heal when needed, knowing that their worth does not diminish because they take time for themselves. They prioritize their well-being because they understand that their ability to achieve their goals depends on their health and their mindset. The 2% who succeed don't just believe in their worth when things are going well. They believe in it on the hardest days, the days when they face rejection, criticism, or failure. They know that these setbacks do not diminish who they are or what they are capable of achieving. Their belief in their worth is not based on external validation or success, but on the internal knowing that they are enough as they are and that their potential is limitless. This belief is what empowers them to keep moving forward, to keep fighting for their dreams, and to keep trusting in their ability to succeed. Courage and authenticity, and at the heart of this is the understanding of one's purpose. The 2% who achieve remarkable success don't just do things for the sake of doing them. They have a clear sense of why they do what they do. Their purpose is not just a vague idea or a passing thought. It is a deep, rooted understanding of their mission in life, a conviction that guides every choice and every effort. It shapes the work they do, the people they surround themselves with, and the actions they take each day. Purpose also provides a sense of intrinsic motivation that cannot be easily extinguished. While external rewards such as money, recognition, or status can provide temporary boosts, they are not enough to sustain long-term success. Motivation driven by purpose, on the other hand, comes from within. It is the fuel that keeps individuals going when external rewards are not immediately visible. The 2% who succeed don't rely on fleeting emotions or external validation to keep them moving forward. Their purpose drives them to keep pushing through, even when the road gets tough. They know that the work they're doing is meaningful and important, and that is enough to sustain their drive. Purpose also gives the 2% the endurance to keep going. Success is rarely instantaneous, and the road to achieving significant goals is often long and winding. The 2% understand that results take time and consistent effort. They know that their purpose is what will sustain them over the long haul, giving them the stamina to keep working toward their goals day in and day out. When others might give up or lose motivation, because the journey feels too long, the 2% stay committed, because their purpose provides the fuel they need to keep moving forward. They recognize that great things take time, and they are willing to put in the effort required to achieve them. Moreover, purpose allows individuals to connect to something larger than themselves. The 2% who succeed are often driven by a desire to make a positive impact on the world, to contribute to something meaningful, or to leave a legacy. Their work is not just about personal gain, it's about the difference they can make in the lives of others or in the world at large. This sense of contribution is deeply motivating. When their work feels aligned with their purpose, they feel that they are part of something bigger than themselves. This connection to a greater mission brings fulfillment and joy, making the work itself feel less like a job and more like a calling. This deep-rooted sense of purpose is what gives the 2% their drive, resilience, and clarity. It serves as a constant reminder of why they do what they do, keeping them focused and motivated even when the going gets tough. It is the thread that runs through everything they do, the reason they push themselves beyond their limits, and the source of their true fulfillment. Without purpose, success would feel hollow and meaningless. But with it, every action, every challenge, and every triumph is infused with meaning. Purpose is not just something to aspire to, it is the very foundation upon which true success is built. When we talk about purpose driving every action, it's important to understand that purpose is not just a distant or abstract goal, it is a constant living force that guides decisions in the here and now. It's the reason you wake up early in the morning, why you push through the tough moments, and why you continue to rise even after you fall. Purpose breathes life into your work, relationships, and dreams, making everything you do feel meaningful and connected to something larger than yourself. The 2% who succeed have mastered this idea. They understand that true success is not just about reaching an end goal, but about the journey itself, each step in alignment with their core mission. The 2% are able to navigate through the noise of everyday distractions, the opinions of others, and the constant push for external validation, because they are anchored in their purpose. This deep connection to their mission makes them immune to the short-term fluctuations of life. When others get lost in trends, temporary pleasures, or fleeting recognition, the 2% stay focused on their long-term vision, because their purpose defines them. It acts as a filter through which every opportunity, challenge, and setback is viewed. They don't get sidetracked by shiny objects or superficial goals. Their purpose is the guiding star that allows them to say yes to what aligns with their vision, and no to what doesn't. Purpose also brings a sense of alignment to every decision they make. It simplifies the complex choices in life by providing a framework of values and goals that can be trusted. When you know what you're living for, the questions about where to invest your time, energy, and resources become easier to answer. You prioritize the things that move you closer to fulfilling your purpose and let go of what doesn't serve that mission. The 2% are able to operate with a laser-like focus, eliminating distractions that might divert them from their path. They understand that every action, no matter how small, is contributing to the bigger picture. Whether it's a challenging day at work, a difficult conversation, or a personal decision, they assess it all through the lens of their purpose. Purpose fuels resilience in a way that nothing else can. Life will test you. There will be moments of doubt, times when you question your worth, and periods when things don't go according to plan. For many, this is where the journey stops. But the 2% who succeed understand that resilience is not about avoiding adversity, it's about pushing through it. Their purpose gives them the strength to face the storms of life with unwavering determination. When the world tells them to quit, their purpose tells them to keep going. They are able to view setbacks not as signs of failure, but as temporary challenges that will be overcome. With their purpose as their anchor, they understand that no matter how difficult things get, they are always moving forward. This resilience is not just about surviving difficult moments, it's about thriving despite them. Purpose enables the 2% to not only endure hardship, but to use it as fuel for personal growth. Every challenge they face is an opportunity to learn more about themselves, refine their purpose, and grow stronger. When they fall, they rise up with a deeper sense of clarity, and when they succeed, their purpose grows even clearer. Purpose transforms every experience, every success and failure into a valuable lesson, allowing them to keep evolving on their path. Their drive comes not from avoiding struggle, but from using it to propel them forward. Living with purpose also encourages a sense of accountability. The 2% understand that their actions have consequences not just for themselves, but for the people they serve, their community, and even the world. Their purpose extends beyond individual achievement to a greater cause, which gives them a sense of responsibility. This accountability pushes them to stay true to their word, be consistent in their actions, and always act with integrity. They know that their work is part of something bigger than themselves, and they take this responsibility seriously. They understand that every decision they make can have an impact on the broader mission they are part of, and that drives them to make thoughtful, purposeful choices. Purpose also fosters a sense of clarity in how they define success. Many people struggle with feeling lost, unsure of what truly matters, and easily swayed by society's definitions of success. The 2% reject these external measures. They define success on their own terms, based on what aligns with their purpose. For them, success is not about being the richest, most famous, or most accomplished. It is about living authentically, staying true to their mission, and making a difference in the areas that matter most to them. Purpose allows them to reject societal pressure to conform and gives them the confidence to carve their own path. Their measure of success is not based on comparisons to others, but on how aligned their actions are with their greater mission. What is truly powerful about a purpose-driven life is that it creates a sense of peace and contentment, even amid chaos. The 2% who succeed don't just chase after goals for the sake of it, they pursue goals that are aligned with their values and sense of meaning. This alignment brings peace of mind. They are not distracted by superficial desires or constantly looking for validation from others. They know their worth, they know their purpose, and that provides a deep sense of fulfillment that is not dependent on external circumstances. Whether they are at the top of their field or facing a difficult setback, their purpose gives them an inner calm that allows them to stay grounded in the midst of challenges. Another key aspect of living with purpose is that it enables individuals to act with authenticity. The 2% don't just do what they do for the sake of doing it. They pursue their work, their dreams, and their goals because they genuinely believe in them. They do not conform to expectations or try to be something they are not. Purpose gives them the strength to stand in their truth, to speak from the heart, and to show up as their authentic selves no matter the circumstances. This authenticity creates deeper connections with others, as people are drawn to those who live with purpose and conviction. It also builds trust because the 2% are seen as people who are genuinely committed to their mission, and not just to personal gain. Purpose also transforms the way individuals approach challenges. The 2% see challenges not as something to avoid, but as something to embrace. They understand that obstacles are a natural part of the process, and that they often provide the greatest opportunities for growth. With purpose driving their actions, they know that every challenge they face is a stepping stone that will ultimately take them closer to fulfilling their mission. This mindset of embracing challenges allows them to tackle problems with creativity, innovation, and determination, knowing that each obstacle overcome brings them closer to their goal. One of the most remarkable things about a purpose-driven life is that it provides fulfillment beyond personal achievements. The 2% often find that their work, their efforts, and their journey provide them with a sense of meaning that no amount of wealth, status, or accolades can give. Their sense of purpose enriches every aspect of their lives, from their relationships to their work to their personal growth. They know that living a life of purpose is the greatest form of success because it brings satisfaction that goes far beyond external markers of achievement. Living with a purpose that drives every action is the key to achieving extraordinary things. It is the fuel that powers you through tough times, the foundation that helps you stay grounded, and the compass that keeps you on the right path. The 2% who succeed understand that purpose is not something to be found externally. It is something that must come from within. It shapes who they are, how they show up in the world, and what they are willing to sacrifice to achieve what they believe in. Purpose is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is what allows people to stay committed, to keep going even when the world tells them to stop, and to live a life of meaning and fulfillment.